And record. All right. I am super excited about tonight's topic. Um, so I have talked to several people in the last couple of weeks that just aren't sure about, how to do things or what they're supposed to do or when they're supposed to do it or why they're supposed to do it. And so I thought it would be really fun to kind of start tonight going, hey, let's not worry about the things that we do because we all know how to do that. If we had to talk to people, we know we're supposed to talk to people. If we had to post, we know we're supposed to post. If we, sell products, that's what we do, right? So we know the things we're really supposed to do. But how many of us get so caught up in, oh, how am I going to do that? What if I can't do that? How does everybody else have it together except me? And so I wanted to play what is his name? Bob Proctor is somebody that I started listening to a while ago. He's passed away now. I don't necessarily believe everything that he believes. However, I really like some of the things he has to say about how to grow and why to grow and what we do to change that paradigm that we've set up. A paradigm is simply a set of beliefs that we hold ourselves to, right? So if we decide that we're, clean people, then we get up every day and we shower, right? That's what we do. And our behavior is driven by the beliefs that we hold. And so I just wanted to play a little bit of that and hopefully shed some light on some of the beliefs that we can untangle in ourselves. And it will untangle a lot of things because they all apply across all walks of life. If you can change it in your personal life, you can change it in your business life. All of it overflows into each other. And so I wanted to play that. Um, One of his books that I listened to for about a year and a half, just on repeat. I think I listened to it probably 500 times on repeat. um, was Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. And so here's just a piece of that. It's about 5 minutes long. It's not very long, but hopefully it will speak volumes to you as much as it did to me. All right, and it's going to take me just a minute to set all this up. Okay. Can y'all see that? All right, I'm going to get into. Okay.
I think we're going to be able to, Rachel. It's not
Okay.
come up
Yeah,
yet.
it's taking a minute for my computer for some reason. My Wi-Fi is not working at the
Yes,
highest level.
now we have a YouTube screen.
Okay.
No audio.
Okay.
Result. And the result.
All right. So I'm going to pause that. All right. Let me come back to Zoom real quick. I'm going to move this out here. I don't know why my computer is taking a while. Oh, come on. Here we are. So maybe if I pause my audio, let me see. All right, it's still sharing.
Still no audio, Rachel.
Still no audio. That those results are really being motivated by
Okay, let's stop that. Can you hear me? Okay, did y'all hear that big squeal? I am so sorry.
Yes, it was terrible.
It was awful. Yes, so I got off on my phone. Let me see here. I don't know how to make the screen share. Hang on, let me do it this way. Maybe if I try it again and use audio and system, we'll try that.
Hello there and welcome. This is Bob Proctor. I want to talk to you for a moment about strategies for altering
Now you got it.
paradigms. You know, a paradigm can cause us enormous problems because it's causing our results. And if the results aren't what we want, we don't understand that those results are really being motivated by paradigms. We may never change the results. And most people go through their life and they never do change the results. They try and change everything under the sun, but they don't realize if they want to change the results, they have to change themselves. If they're going to change themselves, what part of themselves do they have to change? They have to change their subconscious conditioning. That's what they have to change. That is the paradigm. Paradigm is nothing but a group of habits that are programmed into the subconscious mind that control our behavior. Now think of this. Your behavior causes your results. If you want to change the results, don't look outside of yourself. Don't say it's the economy, it's the boss, it's my spouse, it's none of those things. It's something inside and it's called a paradigm. How do you change it? Well, first of all, you start out with the result you want to change. Let's say you want to get up on time, you're always sleeping in. That's a very simple result a lot of people have a problem with. How do we do that? Well, we take a look at what causes us to sleep in. It's an idea in our subconscious mind that just keeps us hitting snooze, staying in bed, not getting out of bed. So I say, I want to change that result. Well, write out exactly the negative result that you're getting. I'm forever sleeping in. I'm always late. I never get up. I hit snooze when I set an alarm. Write that out. Then ask yourself, what is the polar opposite to that? And write it out in the present tense as an affirmation. I am so happy and grateful now that when I wake up, I get up. That's it. I am so happy and grateful now that when I wake up, I get up. And you write that out 100 times a day. I know your intellect, logic is going to tell you this is silly. It won't work. Well, you try it. Write out 100 times a day. I'm so happy and grateful now that when I wake up, I get up. And write that 100 times a day for about 30 days. I'll guarantee you'll hit quitting the snooze button. You know what you've done? You've programmed a new idea in your mind, and it takes over. The old idea dies for a lack of nourishment. You're not feeding it any longer. See, the old idea was a habit. You're in the habit of boom, hit the snooze button, stay in bed, go back to sleep. And what you've done is you've programmed in a new habit that's essentially the opposite to the old. The old dies for a lack of nourishment because you've kept feeding the new one. And write it out 100 times a day, present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now that when I wake up, I get up. And mentally see yourself. The second you wake up, your feet hit the deck, you stand up, you're out of bed, and then you stay out of bed. You give that a whirl. If it works for that, it'll work for everything. It'll work in sales. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm in front of a real live prospect before 9 a.m. asking them to buy. Just the opposite to what's the other one. I'm not in front of prospects at all. I'm afraid to close a sale. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm in front of a prospect before 9 a.m. and I ask every prospect to buy. To change a habit. Change the idea that's fixed in your mind. Through repetition of writing, you fix the idea. Repetition is the first law of learning. You try that. Some simple little thing, but it works like unadulterated magic. Give it a whirl.
I know how simple that sounds. However, it works. I know that it works because I did it and it works. It helps you reprogram just about everything that you're doing because something happens in your brain when you write. And that's why you have to write it. You can't just say it. You can't just do it. You start focusing on what it is that you're saying. And what you focus on is what expands. It's a law of the universe. I don't know exactly, a law of something. I don't know exactly what they're called. Like Newton's law of, Newton's third law of, I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, um, to every, there's an equal and opposite to every thing. Anyway, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, wow. There's an equal and opposite reaction. I don't know why I can't think. Yes. And so if you will write down what it is you're having a problem with, and then work your way backwards. So maybe it's, I'm not getting in front of prospects. Then write it out. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm getting in front of a prospect and asking them to buy by 9 a.m. There is no magic in just writing it down. But there is a ton of magic. And by magic, I simply mean it's going to make you focus on being in front of a prospect by 9 a.m. And what you focus on expands. You're going to start wanting to be in front of somebody. By 9 a.m., you're going to start saying, oh, who have I talked to? Oh, it's 9 a.m. and I haven't talked to anyone. But the more you write it down, the more you will see that keep changing for you. And maybe it isn't about being in front of a prospect. Maybe that isn't where you are. Maybe you are hitting snooze on your alarm. So start working it backwards for no matter what it is in your life that you're having the problem with. Because until you address the underlying cause, nothing's going to change. Because something's going to stand in your way and stop you anytime you start going down the path to where you were doing what you want to do. Something's going to stop you every single time, and you're going to revert back to who you used to be. You have to change that belief within yourself. And so anything that you're doing that you're not getting the result, maybe you've been working towards a job and you just aren't getting it, right? Maybe you are just staying in bed too long. Maybe you're, working towards a promotion with this business. Maybe you're trying to get in front of people, but you're afraid to do it. You have to start focusing on it. And the more you focus on it, the more you will start doing the thing and reprogramming that habit. And one of the ways that I started doing that was writing. I write gratitudes every day. When I had my stroke, I couldn't write anymore. Like, it was hard to even write the alphabet. It would take me 20 minutes just to do that. And I started practicing with gratitudes, and I started changing the habits that I had with, I am so happy and grateful now that. And it works. And it's not because there's a magic pill in it. It's because, or that there's any magic in it at all. It's because what you focus on expands. It expands in your life, and it expands in your, path that you're on, whatever that is you choose for it to be. In this case, it would be talking to people. In this case, it would be sharing with people, working your business. But you can use this for anything in your life. I used it when I started walking and when I started working out. I am so happy and grateful now that I can lift 5 pounds. You know how silly that sounds? As an adult, having to put something that menial on there, but it got me to be able to do it when I couldn't do it. And now I lift 50-pound sacks of feed. Okay, the proof is in actually doing it. And he says to do it 100 times. I only did it 3 times. Okay, it wasn't like it took me, anything and everything, and I had to use a ton of energy to do it. It's that I got an accountability partner and I actually started doing it. And it was one of the easy things that I could do. But as I started doing that, my whole life started to change because I started reprogramming the little things that I believed that weren't actual beliefs. They weren't good beliefs. They weren't productive beliefs. If you're interested in more of what Bob Proctor says, I really liked his book, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. If you are struggling and going, hey, there's a lot of beliefs that I just need to undo, there's a lot of information in that book. And I think that that is a good book for anyone who is looking to change. He talks about a paradigm being like a thermostat in your life. And so if you are having a problem over and over and over and not knowing how to fix it, I would say start there. At least get the book and listen to it. And listen to it multiple times. I know it doesn't seem like something we should be doing, but every time we listen to it again, we hear something that not new that's in the book, but we're new. Like we can hear something again. But anyway, that's really what I had. What do you guys feel like you're struggling with right now? I know some of the things that we had that people said they might be struggling with or might want more information on. I know Teresa has covered a lot of it. We've covered a lot of it. I've been doing one-on-ones with people, and so we've covered a lot of the information. None of it's changed. We still talk to people. We still share with people. We still keep doing, showing up to our business. And so none of that's changed. And so is there anything that anyone is struggling with or anything that anyone is doing well that they want to share on? Anyone at all. I don't want to keep sitting here waiting for it, but at the same time, if you guys want to share anything, please feel free to.
Okay, I'll get on. My video is off just because I can't be on video at the moment. But I've heard I'm in several different chats and I just hear everybody a lot of times there's a lot of negativity or I can't do this or I don't have the access to this or all of the can'ts, won'ts, and no's. We have to fix our mindset. We cannot sit there and just wallow in the, oh my God, no one's responding. Haps suck. No one's responding to my posts. No one's getting, I feel like no one's seeing my stuff or just, Facebook's restricted me again. Okay. We have to learn how to pivot. We have to learn how to just keep going even when it's rough. Like you can send out 101 million 100 million messages And sure, yes, you're going to get restricted from Facebook for sending so many dang messages. However, break it up throughout your day. People are not always active at 8:21 p.m. People are not always active at 7 in the morning. People are active at all different times of the day. That's why it's important that we send out messages at different times of the day. And then don't get offended when somebody leaves you on red. I can't say this enough. So many times people have put their phone down because their kid's getting into something they shouldn't have get into, or their kid was on the phone to begin with. They opened up the app and it makes it seem like they're the ones that read it but never responded to you. We have to get out of the mindset that people just want to ignore us, because they don't. People are busy. We cannot control what other people do. We can only control what we do. And you know what? We can't get so butthurt, excuse my language, but we can't get so butthurt because people leave us on red. It's part of this business. It's part of being on social media. It's just part of it. So you just have to keep going, because think about it. If you're digging a trench, you're not just going to stop because, oh, this is too hard. No, you have to keep digging that trench to get to where you want to go. I'm sure everybody on here has seen that meme or that graphic where the guy's like digging for diamonds or whatever, and he just stops. Well, what he didn't notice is at the other end of like 2 more digs would have been the whole pot of diamonds, and he just stopped. So you never have, no, don't ever stop just because the work gets hard. And if you feel like something is hard, do it first. Do the hard stuff first, because then it makes it so much easier to get that quote unquote easy tasks out of the way. So if hosted posts are things that you absolutely cannot stand and hate to do it first so it's off your list. So that's my soapbox. Sorry.
I love it. Anyone else?
Rachel, I think at this point you should just call people out. There's Jamie has put stuff on, Aaron has put something in the chat, and Nicole has put something in the chat.
Yep, I like it. I like it. Who wants to go first? Any questions, any issues, any, thing that you positive that you want to say? Either one, anything is fine. And if you're struggling with something, it's okay to struggle with something. All right, Nicole, I'm going to call you out first only because I know you.
I struggle with HAPS. I message for HAPS daily, and they'll leave me on red. Some will say that they're gonna put it up for me. I'll send them what I want them to put up. Then bam, nothing. Got 6 people today that have agreed to put up a HAP, and I've sent it to them, but I have yet to find the HAP.
So
I even tell them to tag me in it so that I'll, see it. But I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not gonna give up. I just take a break a little while, and then I get back to it the next day. Been pacing myself lately, so that I don't get blocked from commenting or blocked from sending messages out. I used to get blocked from that a lot, and so I'm learning. I haven't been blocked in quite a while now.
Awesome.
And so I think the main thing is to just keep going. Teresa messaged me the other day. Oh, it was That was like a bad day. But it's like with that, when we're having a bad day, or in my case, the whole month of August. Yeah. And so, but we keep going. It didn't, even though I was having a bad day, it did not stop me from doing my morning routine. That's something I'm gonna do regardless. I've gotten myself used to it. And when I don't go live in the morning, it's like if there's a doctor's appointment for my child, he's autistic, or for myself or something, I make sure that I make the product in my stories, and I share that. I do that daily. And so I think we just need to get in the habit of doing something and be consistent with it.
Well said. Well said. I know Jamie said that she didn't hear the whole conversation, so that is totally fine. Dusty, what about you?
Are you talking to me? That's what I thought. Well, I want to say HAPS. HAPS is just something I'm just not good at. I mean, I send out the messages, but nobody, like, everybody leaves me on red. Or the same thing Nicole said. They say, oh yeah, and then once you send it, they're done. Like, I'm like, okay. So, and then I seen a Zoom the other day about what was it? About did I offend you? Asking them if they left you on red if we offended, and then that gets them talking again. So I'm gonna start trying that. Cause I got a lot of people that left me on red.
When you message somebody, what is your follow-up system? Like if you give them a message for HAPS, what is your follow-up system?
Well, hang on. Let me see. I'm sending. Hi, I have a question for you. He's not asking to buy anything. I'm literally in the girl. I'm literally in the contest right now, and I need one more person to post for me today. Can I send a post your way? That's what I'm sending out.
Okay, so when they say yes and you send them the post, what is your follow-up like if they don't post?
Like, get out. Oh, for like potentials?
No, like, okay, so if they say, yes, I'll post for you, and you send them the message, what is your follow-up system like after that? If they don't post or if you check their
Yeah, I
page.
saved it and all that, yeah.
Okay, but what is your follow-up system if they don't post?
I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Okay,
So
I'll
Teresa-
chime in, Rachel.
okay, no, please
So-
do.
How I follow up with people is if they don't post, I'm messaging them the following day or a couple days later, and I'm saying, hey, just checking back in, were you able to post? Or I might ask them, is that post okay to put up on your page? Or
Yeah, I
things
do
like
do that.
Sometimes I'll do a voice message and say, hey, just checking in, were you able to post? And I sometimes people, like I said, they put their phone down, their kids are getting into something, like they don't, like maybe they're driving and they responded to you at the light or whatever, and then they put their phone down and they forget. I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to do something and I told somebody I would do it. So you just sometimes people sometimes just need a little nudge and say, "Hey, just checking back in, were you able to put up that post?" And then I would go to their page also to just double check to see if they posted, because sometimes they won't even tell you they posted. Because
Yeah.
that's another thing, like you can go, they say, "Oh, I'm going to post for you," and then they don't never respond to you saying that it's up or that they posted, and they just go about their day. So I always go on their page to also check to see if they posted. Now, if they didn't, I'm going to send them another message. "Hey, just checking, is that post okay to do? Were you able to get that post up?" And sometimes if say, okay, it's the third round and I'm following up again, I'll be like, "Hey, did you see my last message? Or are you getting my messages?" And then the last one I'll do, like a four time around, is, "Hey, did I offend you?" Like, it's just a simple little question. And sometimes, like I said, people put their phone down and they have something else going on. Don't take it as a personal attack towards you. So, yes, Chad, Alien Outreach, do they come to recruit you? Yes, and you know what, Dusty, you laughed. That's the response people will do when they read that message, and then they're going to be like, "Yeah, sorry, I got busy. Here, I'll post it right now." I can't tell you how many times I've had people forget to post, and then I reach back out to them, and then they'll post. So, sorry, had to chime in, but go ahead, Dusty, continue.
Did you have anything else, Dusty? No, thank you for chiming in, Teresa. That's perfect. Those are the same types of things that I do. We hear all the time in this business that the fortune is in the follow up. So I like to think of it as, how many times have I forgotten to call my mom back? Those are people that I should remember to call back. How many times have I forgotten to call my sister back? Like, those are people that I should remember. They're at least close enough to me. But I either have to reach out to my mom 2 or 3 times before I hear from her. She has to reach out 2 or 3 times before she hears from me, simply because we're both busy people. But neither of us are upset at each other. We just assume the other one's busy. And so it's the same thing. You just have to keep that in mind when somebody leaves you on red or somebody forgets, is that I just like to assume that they just forgot, because that's what happens so often. I have to ask for that grace from my family members. I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot you called 3 days ago." And so I just have to remember that other people get that grace too, especially if we want that. Um, but the follow up system, the reason that the fortune is in the follow up, um, I read this a couple of years ago, and it was just so good. Um, so a young salesman was reaching out to a group of people and trying to sell a product that he was selling, and he got about 20% in sales. Well, a couple of weeks later, he reached out to the very same group of people, asking them to buy again. He got another 40% of those people to buy from him, at 60% in total. And he would have missed that 40% if he never sent a follow up, because people just forget that they want to buy, or they got busy, or they didn't have the money at the time. Our brain does this crazy thing, and it does it to help us preserve energy, but it only lets us focus on what's most important at the moment. So if you step outside and somebody says, "Oh, find all the yellow hats that you can find," you're going to find all the yellow hats. But when you come back in, if that person says, "Great, how many red hats were there?" You're going, I don't have a clue. I only counted the yellow." It wasn't the red hats weren't there. It's that we can't count it if we're focused on the yellow hats. It works the same in what I was talking about at the very beginning. What we focus on expands, right? We can only focus on certain things, and it's only what affects us at that moment. And that's just a filing system that our brain has to keep us from listening to all the noise and it getting too crazy for us. And so if we follow up with people, then that's why the fortune is there, because people just forget. All right. Does anybody else have anything else? Amanda, Chad, Jamie, Kevin, anybody? Going once, going twice. Okay. All right. I'm done. That's really all I had for this evening. If anybody else has anything to add, great. I'll go ahead and wait another minute, but if not, then that's the end. I hope you guys have a great night.
You did a fine job, Rachel.
Well, thank you
I
very much.
think the theme of tonight was just don't quit.
Yeah.
Just stay the course.
Absolutely.
And thank you for that.
Of course. I hope you guys have a great night.
Good night.
Good night.